I'm reading a quote from Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. He says, "The sense of being of I am is the first to emerge. Ask yourself whence it comes, or just watch it quietly. When the mind stays in the I am without moving, you enter a state that cannot be verbalized but can be experienced. All you need to do is try and try again." What does he mean? He means bring yourself right here, now. Problem with most of us is that this moment, which is full of peace and bliss, is something our minds cannot stand to be in. So we get swayed into thinking, what is now, here, but we get trapped into what if. Yes, the mind says, yes, I see what you're talking about, but what if this happens in the future, that happens in the future? And in that whole movement of what if, we have already lost what is most precious, what is here and now. This whole movement of mind from imaginary past, from a dead past into an imaginary future, is the cause of trouble. So every time you get swayed by thinking, bring yourself to this very moment in this I am. He further says, I'll read his words, "Return again and again to I am until it is your only abode, outside of which nothing exists, until the ego as the limitation of I am has disappeared. It is then that the highest realization will just happen effortlessly." I will read it again. "Return again and again to I am until it is your only abode, outside of which nothing exists, until the ego as a limitation of I am has disappeared." The ego, the I, which moves as I am this and I am that. You see, I am as the awareness of being is pure and complete. But I am this, I am that is always limited. I am a person. I have this gender. I have this job. I have this nationality. I have that religion. I belong to this sect. I belong to this group. I have these beliefs. All of these movements are diversions from the substratum, which is pure consciousness, I am, the awareness of being. So you see, ego is this strong identification with the movement, I am this, I am that. So it is but a limitation. Whenever you think of yourself in this form, that I am a doctor, I am a lawyer, I'm a businessman, I'm a businesswoman, you will always find yourself trapped in limitation. That is just one aspect of what is happening. It is just the mind-body organism performing certain roles. It does not define you. Nothing that is verbalized, put into a concept, can define you. Anything which defines you as an object limits you. I am frees you. It gets rid of that it gets rid of that limitation. That's what Nisargadatta Maharaj is talking about here. So when you come back to this awareness, I am here and now, as whatever is arising, in this awareness, whatever is arising is not apart from it. It is it. So this I am is your abode. It is your home. It is the place where you can always return to because it is safe here. There is no thinking, no discrimination here. There are no concepts here. There is no intellectualizing, philosophizing, verbalizing here. Nothing. It's pure silence. It is always available, always accessible. So whenever you remember, whenever this remembrance comes that home is here, just be here. And in this being, you will find your fullness, your completeness, your wholeness, your vastness. You will not find refuge or any comfort in any movement. Let me do this, let me do that to alleviate my suffering. The small entity, the small self will always run here and there. It will always say, I'm incomplete, I'm not worthy, I have this limitation, that limitation. It will keep running its entire life to fulfill that need, that void, that limitation. But it's all futile. The place of completeness and wholeness is the I am that Nisargadatta Maharaj here talks about. It is your own being. It is your own amness, your isness. It cannot be defined in words. Though we use the word I am, but it is very difficult to explain it as a concept, as Maharaj said earlier. It cannot be verbalized, but it can be experienced because it is made up of knowing, it is pure. And it is vast like an ocean. I am this and that are waves in the ocean, but I am by itself is the vast infinite ocean. And when we learn to stay here and the small self dissolves, this limitation dissolves in the vastness of I am, that is when the highest realization happens effortlessly. Initially, only the effort is to bring yourself here. Now, I know I have said in many videos of mine very casually that bring yourself here and now, but I know it is not easy. I know that it is a fight to disconnect from the chain of thinking, because thinking is very enticing. It is thrilling. It is shocking. Whether it creates excitement or anxiousness, both are equally thrilling for the mind, because mind wants thrill, excitement, it wants to enjoy, it wants to expand. Expansion is not bliss. Mind's expansion is suffering. I'm talking about the separative mind. The mind which says, I am separate from the rest. The mind which believes in its limitation. So Nisargadatta Maharaj says, let that limitation dissolve in this awareness of I am. And the realization will happen. Now bringing yourself back here requires courage. Because mind gets used to chaos. And silence becomes haunting for the mind. Chaos is what we have seen since childhood. At home, with family, with people, with the society. Everyone telling us what to do, what not to do, how to behave, how not to behave, what is moral, what is immoral. Be like this, don't be like that. Everyone telling us so many things. We don't get even a minute to sit quietly and to contemplate who really we are. So these impressions get recorded in the mind, and mind by habit starts moving into thinking. It starts attracting chaos because chaos seems familiar. There is thrill and excitement in it, but thrill and excitement, the pleasure of it is actually pain in reality, because it is too much for your nervous system. The body has to pay the price for it. So yes, courage is required on spiritual path, and the only courage is to bring yourself from all this movement back to here, to this I, or I am. Every time the mind creates a story, gently, very gently, bring it back to I am. Not by force, not by vigilance. This has to be a very gentle and a natural process. It is not to keep yourself vigilant all the time. That would increase stress on the body. That would increase anxiousness. Whenever the remembrance comes that you are getting swayed into thinking, this remembrance comes spontaneously. It is the witnessing. It breaks down the thinking. In the space of witnessing, you will get to know that thinking is happening, and this thinking is leading to pain and suffering. So what do? In that realization, it gets cut off by itself. Nothing needs to be done. And what you find is you're here in the I am. Not as the small you, but as the pure, still, vast, spacious consciousness. That is the highest realization. It is effortless. Slowly, over time, this remembrance, the moments of these remembrances increase. And as they increase, you naturally start coming back to this place of stillness, which is always here. So it becomes your nature. You stay more and more in this peace. Even when chaos is happening outside, it's not strong enough. Because now your mind has a different quality. It knows what chaos does to the body. So it doesn't go there, it just comes back here and remains rooted here in the presence, in the I am. It is beyond all senses. It is beyond all thoughts, all ideas, all possessions, all feelings and all emotions. It is the place of pure restfulness, pure relaxation. Be here now. It is perfect, it is whole.